My beloved, I saw your tears. Not only the tears that fell from your eyes, but the ones you swallowed in silence. The ones you wiped away quickly because you did not want anyone to ask questions. The ones that formed in your heart when you smiled in front of people, but inside, you were breaking all over again. I saw the moment your trust cracked. I saw the moment your heart realized that the person you believed in was not carrying your heart with the same care you carried theirs. I saw the confusion that entered you when their words stopped matching their actions. I saw your replaying conversations, trying to find the warning sign you missed, trying to understand how someone who once made you feel safe could become the reason you felt so wounded. And I want you to hear me clearly. You were not foolish for loving deeply. You were not weak because you trusted. You were not wrong because you gave someone a chance to be honest, loyal, and kind. The fact that they mishandled your heart does not mean your heart was defective. It means they were given something precious, and they did not know how to honor it. You have carried this pain quietly for longer than people realize. Some people only saw the outside of you. They saw you getting up. They saw you going to work. They saw you answering messages. They saw you continuing with life. But they did not see the heaviness that followed you into quiet rooms. They did not see the way your chest tightened when a memory came back without warning. They did not see how one sentence, one name, one place, or one song could pull you back into the wound. But I saw it. I saw the nights when you asked, "Why did this happen to me?" I saw the mornings when you woke up already tired, not because your body had not rested, but because your soul had been fighting a battle through the night. I saw you trying to be strong while a part of you still wanted an explanation, an apology, a reason, something that would make the pain make sense. And I am not here to rush you past what hurt you. I am not here to tell you, just forget about it, as if your heart can erase betrayal like a small mistake. I am not here to shame you for still feeling tender in the places where you were pierced. Healing is not pretending it did not happen. Healing is allowing me to enter the place where it happened and speak truth louder than the memory. My beloved, betrayal has a way of making you question yourself. It whispers, maybe you are not enough. It whispers, maybe you should have seen it coming. It whispers, maybe you love too much. But listen to my voice above every lie. Their betrayal is not proof of your lack. Their dishonesty is not a measure of your value. Their departure is not a verdict over your future. What they did may have wounded you, but it did not define you. What they chose may have changed your direction, but it did not cancel my purpose for your life. You are still mine. Even with tired eyes, you are still mine. Even with questions, you are still mine. Even with a guarded heart, you are still mine. Even if you do not know how to trust again yet, I am not standing far away from you. I am close to the places that ache. I am near to the parts of you that you do not know how to explain. You may have felt embarrassed by how much it hurt. You may have told yourself, I should be over this by now, but I do not measure your healing by someone else's timeline. I do not compare your recovery to another person's strength. I know the depth of what was taken from you. I know that betrayal is not only losing a person, sometimes it is losing the version of life you thought you were building. Sometimes it is losing the future you pictured. Sometimes it is losing the innocence you had before you learned what people can hide behind gentle words. So let me say this over you, your tears were not wasted. Every tear you cried in secret was seen by me. Every prayer you could not finish was heard by me. Every moment you sat in silence because you had no more words was understood by me. You thought you were alone in that pain, but I was sitting with you in it. I was not absent. I was not ignoring you. I was holding the parts of you that felt too fragile to hold themselves. And now, I am asking you to let my voice become louder than what they did. They may have broken your trust, but they did not break my plan. They may have walked away, lied, betrayed, abandoned, or disappointed you, but they did not remove my hand from your life. They may have made you feel rejected, but I am reminding you now, rejection from the wrong place is often protection for the right future. Do not be ashamed of the tears. Those tears were evidence that your heart was alive. They were evidence that you cared. They were evidence that what happened mattered. But your tears are not the final chapter. Your pain is not your permanent address. Your wound is not your identity. I am meeting you here not to keep you in the memory, but to begin lifting the weight from your spirit. So breathe, my beloved. You do not have to explain the whole story to me. I already know. You do not have to defend why it hurt. I already understand. You do not have to prove that you were wounded. I saw the exact moment it happened. And from this moment forward, I am not only validating your tears, I am preparing to turn them into wisdom, strength, and peace. Have you noticed how holding on to this anger drains your energy before you even get out of bed? Before anyone speaks to you, before the day even begins, the memory is already there. It waits for you in the morning. It sits beside you while you try to gather your thoughts. It follows you into simple moments that should feel peaceful. And this is how you know the wound is still asking for healing. Because anger does not only live in the moment it happened. If it is not surrendered, it begins to travel with you. It enters your sleep. It enters your conversations. It enters your decisions. It makes you suspicious of people who have not hurt you. It makes you rehearse arguments with someone who is not even in the room. My beloved, I am not condemning you for feeling anger. Anger was the sound your heart made when something unfair happened. Anger was the alarm that told you this was not right. You were not wrong to feel it. You were not unspiritual because you were upset. You were wounded, and your soul responded to the wound. But now I am asking you a tender question. Is this anger protecting you, or is it exhausting you? Is it guarding your peace, or is it stealing your rest? Is it helping you heal, or is it keeping you tied to the very person, place, or memory you are trying to move beyond? Because sometimes what begins as a shield becomes a chain. At first, the anger feels like strength. It feels like proof that you will never allow anyone to hurt you like that again. It feels like control after a season where you felt powerless. But slowly, if you hold it too long, it starts holding you. You begin to wake up tired. You begin to replay what they said. You begin to imagine what you should have said. You begin to carry conversations that never happen. You begin to give your present energy to a past wound. And I did not create you to live drained by what disappointed you. I did not create your mind to become a courtroom where the same case is tried every day. I did not create your heart to remain locked in the room where they betrayed you. So pause right here, take one honest breath, ask yourself, what has this anger cost me? Has it cost you sleep? Has it cost you softness? Has it cost you the ability to receive love without suspicion? Has it cost you joy in moments that were meant to refresh you? My beloved, this question is not meant to shame you. It is meant to wake you, because I am not only interested in proving that you were hurt, I am interested in making you whole. I'm not only here to confirm that they were wrong, I am here to free you from the invisible weight their wrong placed on you. You have carried this long enough. Now let me show you what I was doing when the door closed. My beloved, you thought the closed door was rejection, but I was standing there as your shield. You saw the ending. I saw the danger. You saw the silence. I saw what was hidden beneath the words. You saw the person walking away. I saw the path they would have pulled you into if I had allowed them to stay. I know it hurt when things changed. I know it confused you when what once felt safe began to feel uncertain. You prayed for things to be restored, but instead, they were revealed. You asked me to fix what was breaking, but I was showing you why it could not hold the weight of where I am taking you. That is the part you did not understand at first. You were asking me to rebuild something I was trying to rescue you from. You were asking me to keep a door open that was connected to future pain, deeper confusion, and spiritual exhaustion. You wanted the relationship, the opportunity, the friendship, or the connection to return to what it used to be. But I saw what it truly was becoming. And because I love you, I did not allow what was unsafe to remain disguised as comfort. My beloved, not every loss is punishment. Some losses are protection wearing the face of disappointment. Some endings are answers to prayers you forgot you prayed. Some removals are my mercy because I know what your heart cannot survive twice. You cried because they left. But I knew what would happen if they stayed. You questioned your worth because they changed. But I was teaching you that your worth cannot be measured by someone who did not know how to honor you. You wondered why I did not stop it, but I was stopping something bigger than you could see. I was stopping you from building your future on unstable ground. I was stopping you from giving more of yourself to someone who had already shown you they could not carry it with care. I was stopping you from shrinking your spirit just to keep a connection alive. I was stopping you from confusing attachment with love, history with destiny, and access with alignment. Do you see now, my child? A closed door is not always a locked blessing. Sometimes it is a guarded boundary. Sometimes it is heaven saying, not this way. Sometimes it is my hand gently pulling you back before you step into something that looks beautiful from a distance but carries pain inside it. You thought you were losing them, but in truth, I was bringing you back to yourself. I was bringing you back to the version of you that could breathe without fear. The version of you that did not have to overthink every word. The version of you that did not have to prove your value to be treated with respect. The version of you that could wake up without wondering what mood, what lie, what silence, or what disappointment would meet you that day. I know this redirection did not feel gentle at first. It felt like tearing. It felt like confusion. It felt like an unanswered prayer. It felt like I'd removed something you loved without explaining why. But my protection does not always arrive with comfort in its hands. Sometimes my protection arrives as disruption. Sometimes it arrives as exposure. Sometimes it arrives as the conversation that reveals the truth. Sometimes it arrives as the distance you did not choose. Sometimes it arrives as the ending you begged me to reverse. And only later do you realize, I was there. I was there in the delay. I was there in the silence. I was there in the door that would not open again. I was not absent from your heartbreak. I was working inside what you could not understand. My beloved, think of the times you asked me for peace. Think of the times you whispered, God, show me what is real. Think of the moments you prayed, do not let me be deceived. And then, when truth came, it hurt so much that you almost called it destruction. But truth is not destruction. Truth is not destruction. Truth is deliverance. Truth may shake what is false, but it frees what is real. Truth may end an illusion, but it restores your clarity. Truth may break your attachment, but it protects your future. That person, that door, that season, that place, that plan you held onto so tightly, it was not stronger than my purpose for you. It could not cancel what I wrote over your life. It could not erase the gifts I placed within you. It could not stop the future I am preparing. But it could have delayed your healing if you kept ignoring what I was showing you. So I allowed what was hidden to come into the light, not to embarrass you, not to punish you, not to make you feel foolish for trusting. I allowed it because love without truth becomes bondage. Loyalty without discernment becomes self-abandonment. And I did not create you to abandon yourself in order to keep someone else comfortable. You may still be grieving what you hoped it would become. That is all right. I am not asking you to deny the grief. I am asking you to bring the grief to me. Bring me the disappointment. Bring me the questions. Bring me the version of the future you imagined. Bring me the dream you thought was attached to that person or that place. Place it in my hands. Because what I have for you does not require you to stay tied to what broke you. What I have for you will not demand that you silence your spirit to keep peace. What I have for you will not require you to beg for basic honesty. What I have for you will not make you feel small, replaceable, or constantly afraid of losing your place. My direction brings peace, even when the transition is painful. My correction brings life, even when the separation is uncomfortable. My protection brings clarity, even when the first feeling is grief. So stop calling yourself rejected when I have been calling you redirected. Stop calling yourself abandoned when I have been leading you out. Stop calling it failure when I have been clearing the ground for something healthier, truer, and more aligned with the person I created you to become. My beloved, they thought they broke you, but they only revealed what I was ready to heal. They thought their departure would leave you empty, but they did not know I was already preparing to fill the spaces they mishandled. They thought the door closing was the end of your story, but they did not know that when I close a door, I do not close your future. I close access to what can no longer travel with you. And now, I am inviting you to stop standing in front of that closed door, asking why it's shut. Turn around. There is still life ahead of you. There is still peace ahead of you. There is still love, purpose, restoration, and joy ahead of you. The door closed, yes. But you are not trapped outside of blessing. You are being guided toward it. My beloved, now that you have seen the closed door as protection, I must speak to the place in your heart that is still tempted to stand there and argue with the past. Because even after I rescue you, resentment can make you feel like you are still trapped. It can make you leave the situation physically, but remain chained to it emotionally. It can make you move forward with your feet while your heart keeps walking back to the place where they betrayed you. It can make you say, I am done, while your mind is still rehearsing what happened again and again. And I understand why. When someone hurts you deeply, resentment can feel like the only evidence that the pain mattered. It can feel like the only way to say what they did was wrong. It can feel like the only way to protect yourself from being vulnerable again. But listen to me carefully. Resentment may prove that you were hurt, but it cannot heal you. Resentment may remember the offense, but it cannot restore your peace. Resentment may keep the story alive, but it cannot write a new chapter. It keeps your hands full of old pain, and then your heart wonders why it cannot receive new joy. My beloved, I do not ask you to release resentment because I am ignoring what they did. I ask you to release it because I see what it is doing to you. I see how it sits quietly in your spirit. I see how it hardens the tender places I am trying to heal. I see how it whispers suspicion when kindness approaches. I see how it turns every new opportunity into a threat because the old wound is still speaking. Resentment does not only remember the person who hurt you, it begins to interpret everything through what they did. Someone sincere comes close, and resentment says, be careful, they will leave too. A door begins to open, and resentment says, do not get excited, it will disappoint you. A blessing begins to form, and resentment says, do not trust it. You know how things end. And without realizing it, you start using yesterday's wound to judge tomorrow's mercy. But I am doing something new in you, and the new thing cannot fully grow in soil that is poisoned by old bitterness. This is why resentment is dangerous. not because it makes me stop loving you. My love for you is not fragile. My mercy toward you is not easily exhausted. But resentment clouds your ability to receive what I'm already sending. It makes your spirit guarded against even the gifts I place in front of you. It keeps you looking backward while I am calling you forward. It keeps you studying their behavior while I am trying to reveal your healing. It keeps you focused on what they owe you while I am trying to show you what I still have for you. My beloved, you do not have to carry the role of judge, jailer, and witness inside your own soul. You do not have to replay the case every morning. You do not have to keep punishing yourself with the memory of how they failed you. Yes, what happened was wrong. Yes, the pain was real. Yes, the betrayal mattered. But if you keep drinking the bitterness, hoping they will feel the effect, you will only keep wounding the heart I am trying to restore. I want your heart free, not because they deserve freedom from accountability, but because you deserve freedom from torment. You deserve mornings that are not controlled by old conversations. You deserve laughter that does not feel interrupted by sudden sadness. You deserve relationships that are not forced to pay for what someone else did. You deserve a mind that does not return to the same memory every time it gets quiet. And I know that letting go can feel unfair. It may feel like releasing resentment means the pain was small. It may feel like laying down the anger means they got away with it. It may feel like peace is too generous after what you endured. But peace is not a reward for them. Peace is my gift to you. Peace is not saying they were right. Peace is saying their wrong will no longer rule you. Peace is not pretending the wound never happened. Peace is allowing me to heal the wound so it stops bleeding into every part of your life. My beloved, the enemy would love for one betrayal to become your entire identity. He would love for you to become known by what happened to you, instead of becoming rooted in what I am doing within you. He would love for your heart to become so guarded that you cannot recognize safe love, wise friendship, open doors, or divine direction when they come. But I am not finished with you. There are blessings ahead that require an open heart. There are assignments ahead that require clarity. There are connections ahead that require discernment without suspicion. There are rooms ahead where you cannot carry the weight of everyone who misunderstood you, abandoned you, used you, or lied to you. That weight is too heavy for the future I am leading you into. So let me touch the resentment today. Let me touch the place that says, I cannot let this go. Let me touch the place that says, they do not deserve forgiveness. Let me touch the place that says, I need them to understand how badly they hurt me. I know every detail. I know every word. I know every silent tear. I know the cost. And because I know, you can stop carrying the file in your hands as though I have forgotten. I have not forgotten. But I am asking you not to build a home in the pain. You can acknowledge what happened without living inside it. You can learn from the betrayal without letting it become your teacher forever. You can remember the lesson without keeping the wound open. My beloved, resentment will always demand more space than it deserves. At first, it asks for one room in your heart. Then it spreads into your thoughts, your tone, your sleep, your expectations, your prayers, your relationships, and your future. It does not remain small. Bitterness grows when it is fed, but peace grows when it is chosen. And today, I am leading you toward that choice. Not a rush choice, not a fake choice, not a choice where you pretend you are fine when you are not. I am leading you into a holy, honest release. The kind of release where you say, God, I still feel the pain, but I refuse to let this pain become my prison. That is where healing begins. Not when you deny the wound. Not when they finally explain themselves. Not when the past becomes fair. Healing begins when you place the wound in my hands and stop letting resentment decide who you become. They may have planted pain, but they do not get to harvest your future. They may have caused tears, but they do not get to own your joy. They may have broken trust, but they do not get to define your ability to love, hope, dream, or believe again. So guard your heart from resentment, my beloved, not by pretending nothing happened, but by refusing to let what happened become greater than what I am still doing. Your peace is too valuable. Your calling is too important. Your future is too holy. And the bitterness you have been carrying cannot come with you into the freedom I am preparing next. Forgiveness is not letting them off the hook. It is putting your heart back in my hands. Read that again in your spirit, my beloved. Forgiveness is not saying what they did was acceptable. It is saying what they did will no longer have authority over my soul. Forgiveness is not pretending they did not lie. It is not pretending they did not leave. It is not pretending they did not betray your trust, mishandle your love, or damage a place in you that once felt safe. Forgiveness is not denial. Forgiveness is release. And release does not mean the wound was imaginary. Release means the wound is no longer your master. So many of my children resist forgiveness because they believe it means opening the door again. They believe it means answering the message, rebuilding the relationship, returning to the same pattern, or giving someone access they have not shown the character to carry. But listen to me. Forgiveness is not always reconciliation. Forgiveness can happen in your heart even when the boundary remains in place. Forgiveness can be real even when the door stays closed. Forgiveness can be holy even when wisdom says, do not go back. I am not asking you to remove discernment. I am asking you to remove poison. There is a difference. Discernment says, I have learned what this revealed. Bitterness says, I will never be free from what this did. Discernment protects your future. Bitterness imprisons your present. My beloved, when you forgive, you are not handing victory to the person who hurt you. You are taking victory back from the pain. You are saying, this wound may have touched me, but it will not rule me. This memory may have followed me, but it will not lead me. This betrayal may have changed me, but it will not harden me beyond healing. That is why forgiveness is powerful. It is not weakness. It is not surrendering to them. It is surrendering to me. It is placing the unpaid debt, the unspoken apology, the unanswered question, and the unfair outcome into the hands of the only one who can judge rightly and heal completely. You do not have to chase closure from someone who is still committed to confusion. You do not have to beg for understanding from someone who benefits from misunderstanding you. You do not have to keep explaining your pain to a person who has already shown they do not know how to hold it. Bring it to me. I know what was done. I know what was said. I know what was hidden. I know what it cost you. And I know how to restore what their actions tried to steal. Forgiveness is the moment your heart stops waiting for them to become the healer of the wound they caused. Forgiveness is the moment you stop placing your peace in the hands of someone who broke your trust. Forgiveness is the moment you say, God, I cannot carry this anymore. I cannot fix the past. I cannot change what they chose. But I can place my heart back where it belongs. I can place it back in your hands. That is the twist, my beloved. Forgiveness does not erase justice. It releases you from bondage. Forgiveness does not make them innocent. It makes you free. Forgiveness does not invite them back into your life. It invites my peace back into your heart. So do not fear the word forgiveness. Do not treat it as a demand to forget. Do not treat it as pressure to reconnect. Do not treat it as permission for someone to harm you again. See it for what it truly is. A holy exchange. You give me the anger. I give you rest. You give me the memory. I give you peace. You give me the wound. I give you healing. You give me the ashes of what they broke, and I begin creating something whole, steady and beautiful within you again. Now, my beloved, we are going to bring this pain into prayer. Not a rushed prayer, not a polished prayer, not a prayer where you pretend your heart is not still tender. This is a prayer of release. This is the moment where you stop carrying what was never meant to live inside you forever. This is the moment where you place the wound, the memory, the anger, the disappointment, and the unanswered questions into my hands. Before you pray, take a breath. Let your shoulders lower. Let your hands unclench. Let your heart become honest in my presence. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to hide what you feel. You do not have to make your words beautiful. I am not listening for perfect sentences. I am listening for surrender. So speak these words slowly from the deepest place you can reach. Say, God, I come before you with the pain I have been carrying. I bring you the betrayal that changed me. I bring you the moment that broke my trust. I bring you the words I never forgot, the silence I never understood, and the disappointment I did not know how to release. I admit that I have been hurt. I admit that I have been angry. I admit that I have replayed the memory, hoping somehow it would make sense. But today, I do not want this pain to own me anymore. I do not want resentment to become my identity. I do not want bitterness to shape the way I see people, love people, trust people, or receive the future. You are preparing for me. Father, I place this person in your hands. I place what they did in your hands. I place what they said in your hands. I place what they never apologized for in your hands. I place what they refused to understand in your hands. And I confess that your hands are stronger than mine. Your justice is wiser than mine. Your healing is deeper than my anger. Your peace is greater than my need to keep holding the pain. Lord, I forgive them, not because what they did was right, not because it did not hurt, not because I am pretending it never happened. I forgive them because I refuse to remain chained to the wound. I forgive them because my heart belongs to you. I forgive them because I want freedom more than I want to keep replaying the offense. I forgive them because I trust you to handle what I cannot handle. And if forgiveness feels incomplete inside me, help me. If part of me still wants to hold on, help me. If part of me is afraid that letting go means losing control, help me. Teach my heart that surrender is not weakness. Teach my heart that peace is not denial. Teach my heart that release is not injustice. Father, I give you the anger I used as armor. I give you the resentment I thought was protecting me. I give you the questions that kept me awake. I give you the heaviness I carried into mornings that should have felt new. I give you the fear that I will be hurt again. I give you the suspicion that grew from the wound. I give you the part of me that keeps expecting people to repeat what they did. Heal me there, Lord. Heal the place where trust was broken. Heal the place where my joy became guarded. Heal the place where my heart began to close. Heal the place where I blamed myself for what someone else chose. Remind me that I was not foolish for loving. Remind me that I was not weak for trusting. Remind me that their betrayal is not my identity. Remind me that my future is not limited by what happened behind me. Lord, wash my heart clean from bitterness. Remove the sting from the memory. Remove the heaviness from my spirit. Remove the need to keep defending my pain. Remove the desire to see them suffer before I allow myself to heal. I release the debt into your hands. I release the apology I may never receive. I release the explanation I may never hear. I release the version of the story where they finally understand everything they did. I release the need to keep proving that I was hurt. You saw me. You heard me. You were there. And your witness is enough. Father, restore my peace. Restore my softness without removing my wisdom. Restore my ability to love without losing discernment. Restore my courage to trust again at the right time, with the right people, in the right way. Restore the parts of me that became quiet because of pain. Restore my laughter. Restore my sleep. Restore my confidence. Restore the hope I buried when I thought that door closing meant my future was closing too. I receive your protection. I receive your redirection. I receive your healing. I receive your peace. I receive the truth that what broke my trust did not break your plan. And from this day forward, I will not call myself rejected when you have called me redirected. I will not call myself ruined when you have called me restored. I will not call myself abandoned when you have been holding me all along. Lord, I place my heart back in your hands, where it is safe, where it is seen, where it is known, where it can heal, where it can become whole again. In your name, I release the past. In your name, I release the past. In your name, I choose freedom. Amen. Now, my beloved, stay still for a moment. Do not rush away from this prayer. Let the words settle inside you. Let your spirit breathe. Let the place that has been tense for so long begin to loosen. You may not feel everything change at once, but something sacred has shifted. You have taken the pain out of the hidden room of your heart and placed it before me. That matters. Every honest surrender matters. Every step toward peace matters. Every time you choose not to rehearse the wound, healing grows stronger in you. And when the memory comes back, because sometimes memories do return, do not panic. Do not think you failed. Simply bring it back to me again. Say, God, I already placed this in your hands. Help me leave it there. Forgiveness may begin in a moment, but healing often unfolds through trust. So trust me with the process. Trust me with the tender places. Trust me with the days when you feel strong and the days when you feel fragile. I am not asking you to heal yourself. I am asking you to let me heal you. And I will. My beloved, this is the moment you stop carrying the past as if it still has ownership over you. What happened hurt you, but it does not have permission to define you. What they did wounded you, but it does not have authority to name you. What they broke was real, but I am greater than what was broken. So hear this declaration over your life. You are not rejected. You are redirected. You are not forgotten. You are held. You are not ruined. You are being restored by the hands of a faithful God. The people who mishandled you do not get the final word over your heart. The betrayal does not get the final word over your future. The closed door does not get the final word over your destiny. I have the final word. And my word over you is peace. My word over you is healing. My word over you is freedom. My word over you is new beginning. From this moment forward, you do not have to return to the same memory and let it punish you again. You do not have to keep rehearsing the conversation. You do not have to keep imagining what could have been if they had chosen differently. They made their choice. Now you will make yours. You will choose peace. You will choose release. You will choose to place your heart back in my hands every time the old pain tries to pull it away. You will choose to believe that the door I closed was not the death of your future, but the protection of it. My beloved, they thought they broke you, but they did not know who was holding you. They thought your tears were the end of your strength, but they did not know those tears were watering the ground where wisdom, courage, and deeper faith would rise. They thought their absence would empty you, but they did not know I was making room for peace. So lift your head, not because everything was easy, not because everything was fair, but because you are still here and I am still with you. The past is released. The wound is surrendered. The bitterness is losing its grip. And your heart is returning to peace. If this message speaks to your heart, write Amen as a simple act of faith. Let it be your quiet declaration that you are no longer living chained to what hurt you. Go forward, my beloved, not carrying the pain as your identity, but carrying the peace I have placed within you. You are free, and what I am restoring in you will be stronger than what they tried to break.